It's hard for me to do a story. I don't know why it just is. So I like center around something. So like this guy was describing doing death row, and now he needs to do community service hours. And put him on this podcast thing. Talk about all the, ways he can the body.
What's the most community service you've ever been taken to? 8 million hours.
At some point, it's jail time, probably. 1,000 hours.
What if someone gets committed like 1,000 acts of graffiti?
Yeah, just petty crimes.
1,000 petty crimes. At some point, they, I think, accumulate. Maybe not.
But it's not a repeated offense because you
Right.
did it once, just a lot of times.
Yeah. I didn't know it was not supposed to punch that guy in the face.
A lot of little things fall under disorderly conduct. And that would be the charge, probably.
I still don't understand what people are.
No one's gonna arrest you for jaywalking.
I know, you look stupid.
No one's gonna find you. Well, I mean, I don't jaywalk just because I like to play it safe.
Why do you zero car like
It's mostly just a law designed to save car drivers' lives and your life.
Don't you find it interesting that there's laws to keep you safe? Why do we need a law to keep?
Because a lot of people need to be told not to walk in the middle of the street with people driving.
Yeah, thank you for my own sidewalk.
Well, this stuff is actually delicious. This is probably actually one of my favorite snacks.
They're just better with milk.
Nah, I like eating it with chips.
What's your favorite chip?
I don't eat cereal. Most of the breakfast I only have one food.
Chip. Seem like a sour cream and onion.
I met a real Karen at the gym yesterday.
Really?
Well, it was a guy.
Oh, you want me to have it?
I was doing leg raises, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
calf
know.
raises?
This guy came up to me and he was like, I was 2 sets in and I was on a rest interval, and he was like, you done with your exercise? Got off the machine. I was like, bro, I have 2 sets left. And then he came back afterwards and I finally did my 2 sets in a rest interval. And he was like, hey, can I use the machine now? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you've got some attitude. I was like, what did I do?
Oh my god.
Look, man, I'm here for the same reason as you. I have thick legs.
I know why he was like that.
Why?
Because they think they know what. In that moment, for him to say that, he thinks he knows what you're thinking. And he doesn't. He assumed it, and he was wrong.
You think that they can just own everything. They're entitled to everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's, similar to law, I don't know.
I just don't get why he did it. It's so weird.
They're coming?
Yeah, they're coming. What's live, guys? I want you guys to know.
When you're live, you're
It's like
live.
a few seconds late.
That's so they don't know that.
Delay.
So who's watching this?
You can send the link right now. Anybody, I can watch it right now.
Who's going out of their like work day to watch some random kids sit at a table?
Oh, Sports Network.
You don't want to say that because you already know that there's like 5 people on there.
You gotta be a weirdo to watch this.
No, right?
Like I could be making money right now and still find time to do it, but instead I'm gonna watch a bunch of random kids that I don't know talk about that.
How many viewers we have?
Get a life, man. What are they called?
You, he's like, yeah, what's it called? You Sports Network.
The guy with the light.
What's it called?
I'm going into the U Sports. How do you spell that?
You, like the shirt.
Oh, youth sports.
You Sports Network.
I should actually look up youth sports injection.
There's only one person watching. I'm commenting.
It's probably you. He said, oh yeah.
Hold on, I need to watch these. Yo, hold on. Let this be. These are just straight up people getting kicked out.
What's the point?
The point is,
All right,
if you,
everybody got the story though. That's the point of this whole thing. Forget about the live. We can put it on anytime. But you got your story.
Yes.
What's your story about?
It's about a peasant boy who his village needs nourishing, and then it's in like a medieval England. So he travels to the kingdom of Wessex and enters a tournament. And he wins the tournament, and the king is surprised, and so the king gives him like a job as a noble knight. So he travels back to his village, gives Roshan to his father to spend on the village. When he falls in love with fair maiden, and so he travels back to the kingdom, works for a king. Then it's like a happily ever after.
Okay, now see how you did that without looking?
Yeah.
Perfect, right? You gotta read it, right? You can do it. I'm gonna give you more time. What's your story about, D? You already told me?
Death row inmate doing community service. They're doing a podcast about the deadliest deaths, and then he has to go to a court hearing.
Okay, okay. Mr. Francisco.
My story is about me and my dog going on adventures, and we were traveling through the forest, and we got beat up by an Aztec clan, and we want revenge. So we went back to their village. We got past all the security, and we steal all their like wealth and treasure. But at the end, we feel bad, so we go back and we give it all back, and we become part of the tribe.
You said that without reading it, right? Okay, perfect. Now you know, Michelle, what's yours about?
Mine is about me at 13 years old, and I'm trying to go to Canada to visit my aunt, but I don't have any money. So I decided to hitchhike, but the guy that picks me up knocks me out, and I wake up in the forest alone, and I live in the forest for about a week, and then I realize that I have to escape, but there's no one around, so I light the forest on fire, and the firemen come, and they save me. And they ask me where I live, and I say I live in Canada, so they drive me to Canada, and I can finesse my way into a free ride to Canada.
Nice. Okay, so you don't gotta read it, right?
Well, I kind of do. It's
Oh,
pretty
what you
long.
just told me, that's perfect. We're there with you. Mr. Mike.
My story starts with me dying because I'm allergic to lies, and my father tells me that he loves me. And then my mom gives me anti-dislocating serum, and I spring back to life. And then I feed my crocodiles and confess my love to my parrot. And then he rejects me, and I say he's lying, and I die again.
Okay. Avery, how about you?
My story is about going like trick-or-treating, and I have like an alien costume, and then aliens mistake me for an alien, and they like suck me into their UFO, and then they realize I'm human, and they drop me down from space, and then I land it because I like have my inflatable outfit, and it stopped me from hitting the ground.
Okay, that's perfect. Now, I like all the stories. So I'm gonna go around one more time. I'm gonna ask you, what is your conflict? Okay? What is your conflict in your story?
Um,
Think about it. You guys have a beginning, conflict, resolution, right?
I guess being sucked up into space.
Okay, I like it. What's yours?
My parrot doesn't love me.
Okay, Michelle, what's yours?
I got knocked out and woke up in the middle of the forest.
Okay, what's yours?
Getting beat up in conflict.
Everybody's getting beat up in a conflict. Okay.
The
How about
judge is gonna send me back to death row by killing another person.
okay. Oh, Bella, we didn't get your story. What's your story about?
It's about this time that I thought I was home alone. And my brother wasn't home. And later in the story, he becomes blind and deaf, and he learns how to play the piano.
Okay, what's your resolution? I mean, what's your conflict?
Oh.
That I think I'm lost.
Okay.
Like, how does he learn how to play the piano when he's blind and deaf?
I don't know.
Right. Oh, that's
I
the
can't
story.
even like conceive what a piano is.
That's the story. Okay, Adrian, what's your story about? What's your conflict? What's your conflict?
A tournament in the back.
Okay, nice. Now, Mr. Emilio, what is your story about?
It's about a man who just can't stop going to the bathroom.
Okay, what's your conflict?
The man has the man is constantly having to pee
Okay, that is a
and has
conflict.
bladder issues.
Okay, I like it. Now, everybody understand how long it has to be?
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, does anybody besides Mike want to go first? Mike? Oh, Avery, yeah, let's go. All right. Have a seat.
I'm hating on this series.
Have a seat.
You gonna take that home?
No, I got that set up right there.
Well, then you're not online now, let's see.
All right. So, before we start, okay, introduce yourself. Tell them what's gonna happen. And make sure the ending's cool, okay? Don't be nervous. All right.
Hello, everyone. It's your host, Avery. Welcome back to Storytelling with Avery. And let me tell you, last year I experienced one of the most traumatic experiences of my whole life. This is the story on how I got abducted by aliens. Me and my friends were trick-or-treating. One of my friends was Little Red Riding Hood, and the other was a devil. And I decided to dress up in an inflatable alien costume. We're walking down the street, and all of a sudden, a bright light shines from above me, and I start floating. Both my friends run away, and they're screaming. All of a sudden, I look around to notice I'm in a spaceship. And I soon come to the statement that it was a UFO because there was an alien driving it. I yelled at the top of my lungs, and all of the aliens stormed into the room, confused on what happened. And I unzipped my costumes, and they realized that I was a human. And one of the aliens pulled this lever, and the floor opened up, and I dropped from outer space. Quickly, I zipped back up the costume, and there was plenty of air in there, hoping that it would help me from getting any injuries when I land. And it did. I landed, and I was fine. And I ended up being on CBS News, and that's it for today's story. Stay tuned for the next episode of Storytelling with Avery. Thank you for your time.
Perfect. Good job. Good job. All right. Who wants to go next? Francisco, yeah, come on, yeah. Let's go, Francisco. Francisco, like me. You say me. I see me. I see your hand. I see your hand. I see it. All right, now remember, you got to introduce yourself, tell us
think real quick. Okay. Hello, my name is Francisco, and I'm going to be telling you the story of how I made friends with an Aztec tribe. So I was walking through a forest when some hunters from the Chalca tribe came and stole all of my money and beat me up, and they stole all of my weapons. I wanted revenge because I was so mad that they stole everything from me. So when following them back to their village, I noticed that they had dropped some of their weapons on the floor. So I picked up their weapons as to use them for self-defense. When I got to their village, there was about 1,000 guards surrounding the village and making sure nobody got in. But luckily I had my dog Bo with me, so he could sneak under one of the gates and let me in. We hid in a barrel to cross the streets. We got in a barrel to cross the streets safely without any civilians or guards seeing us. And when we got to me and Bo got to the temple safely. Once we got in, there was a dozen or more booby traps in each hallway. When we got past, I had Bo go first since he was light and he could get past them without triggering the booby traps, and so he could set them off. When he set them off, we got through the temple, and when we got to the treasure, we had to figure out a puzzle. If we didn't get it right in 3 tries, then the whole place would self-destruct. And we got it right on the second time because it needed a dog's footprint to unlock it. And so when we got in, we got all the treasure, and when we were running out, we got out of the village and we felt bad. So when we felt bad, we thought maybe we could become friends with the tribe, and we wouldn't have to go back home where we lived in poverty. So we went back to the tribe and gave them back all the treasure so then we could befriend them and live in that tribe and become one of them. Done. Huh? What? That was it?
Yeah, that was it. You're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's your ending. They don't know yours like that.
Yeah,
I
done.
have an ending the same way at the beginning. But good job. Come on. Good job. Good job.
How many minutes was that?
It was 2 minutes. Almost 3.
Almost 2.
It was 2 minutes. Who wants to go next? Oh, nice. Come on. I know Cardinal really not supposed to shoot down when you're on camera. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, I gotta fix the camera, which is super tall. Don't worry.
How I died and came back to life. A story about how I died and came back to life. Let me give you some context. For my entire life, I've been deathly allergic to lies. I was lying in bed, dead as I wanted, when my father had just told me that he loved me, and my ears started throbbing, my eyes started exploding, and all of my limbs simultaneously dislocated themselves. Thankfully, I was dead. But unfortunately, my mom gave me anti-limb dislocation serum and I sprung back to life. Geez, if I was living in a book, the author really didn't want to write it. Arg, I said, I'm a pirate. Anyways, the crocodiles were snapping, so I fed them their bison chow and levitated back home. I'm in love with you, I told my pet parrot, but we can never be together. Forbidden love, I thought. We can run away together. Polly wants a cracker, my parrot said. And what about my dream? What about our dream, I cried. What about Venice? Was that nothing to you? My parents stared at me silently. I could feel my ears start to throb, my limbs start to dislocate themselves. You're lying, I screamed, and my eyes exploded. The end.
All right. That was about a minute and 55 seconds.
That's close to 2.
Needed 2:30. That's a good story. Good job. All right. Neo, yeah, come on down. You're the next contestant on. Tell your story. Let's go. But if you don't, but if you didn't tell anybody, how would they know?
It's like shooting firecrackers in the middle of nowhere.
You do. That's like shooting firecrackers. You gotta get it up, huh? Go back a little bit. Hold up. They cut your set off. Just come back a little bit. You ready? Remember, look at the camera, okay? All right. And we're not gonna eat while we're doing it. Put that away. Put that away. You can't talk while you eat. All right. Ready?
Oh, crap. I gotta go to the bathroom. Back. Oh, damn it. I gotta go again. Okay, I'm back. Now I can get to business. Oh no, my bladder's acting up again. Okay, I'm done. Oh no, my bladder's full. I'm trying to, come on, Emilio, hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in. Hold it in. I can't, you know what, screw this. I can't take it. I really gotta go. Let's see my doctor about my bladder issues. What am I, an old man? Oh no, it's coming back again. I swear, if my bladder fills up again, I'm going to just sit here and do nothing. I don't care if I pee my pants. I'm gonna sit in this chair. Oh no, I wet myself. Mommy! Mommy, I peed myself. Okay, I'm done.
All right, nice. So, I want to tell you that was great, right? But you didn't tell them what you were going to do. You got to make an introduction, remember? Good job, though. It was funny. I like it. All right. Very entertaining. Very funny. You win. Bella. Let's go. Bella. Bella for Rolly.
It might not be that long.
Yeah, make it that long. You're already trying to have an hour. Why? Okay. Be nice. Introduction. Hello and goodbye. Just remember, okay?
Hello, this is my short story of how I thought I was lost. So my mom was gonna go to the grocery shop, and my bigger brother and me were just gonna hang at the house while she was gone. So my mom didn't really know where my brother was, but she knew that he was home. She didn't really know where he was, but a little later, she left, and I tried to find my brother. I literally looked everywhere. I called his name, and I couldn't find him. I started to freak out a little bit, so I called my mom on the home phone. She said she would come soon, so I paced around a little bit more, freaking out. She came home a little later, and we tried to find my brother. It took us a little while, and then we finally found my brother on the roof taking a time-lapse video of the sunset going down. After that, he became blind and deaf and learned how to play the piano, and now he's famous. So if you guys want to go check out his music, you can do that. I would really appreciate that, and I think he would too. Thank you. Bye. Probably too fast.
Yeah, 1 minute, 45 seconds. Good story, though.
Great.
Remember, just talk slower. It's fine. It's fine. Come on.
Am I done?
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, remember, we gotta have a beginning. Now listen, you told me the story already, right? Just relax.
Hi, I'm Adrian Pena, and today I'm going to be telling you a story about a peasant boy who becomes a noble knight. So, our protagonist, William Johnson, is working in the fields of his village when his father walks up to him and says he needs groschen for his village. So William gears up and heads to the kingdom of Wessex. As he travels, he makes friends, Abby, Mark, Alan, and Paul, and they help him get across a bridge that is infested with bandits. So when he gets to the kingdom of Wessex, him and his friends dispatch. His friends go their own ways, and so does he. When he gets into the kingdom of Wessex, it's dark. So he buys a bed in an inn, and it's the best sleep he ever had. In the morning, he wakes up and gets ready to sign up for a tournament, a battle of death. And so he gets into the tournament, and he beats all of his opponents up. And the kingdom is so oppressed that he offers William a job as a noble knight. So William accepts, but he has to take the groschen that the king gave to William back to his village. So he gets back to his village and gives all the groschen back to his father. And he falls in love with a fair maiden. And they both have 2 kids, William Jr. and Randvi Johnson. And so him and his wife get married, and they have 2 kids. Then William continues to work with the king of Wessex. And
he lives a long and good life. When he dies in his 90s, and his son takes his place as a noble knight. And his daughter becomes an innkeeper, and his wife dies at old age still. But his son he gets a wife and has 2 kids still. His daughter marries a man, and happily ever after.
All right. Now, you didn't end it though. You were like first. This is Adrian. You gotta be like, thanks for watching or something, right?
Thank you for watching.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now I need to go again. I didn't really get to it at first. I gotta kind of go. You know what I'm saying? So it all back up.
Yeah. Actually, I'm a master range murderer. Close enough.
Close enough. You fight fire somewhere. Remember introduction and ending.
Hey guys, the court judge just told me that I have to confess to all the murders, so I'm here to tell you the story of the first one. I was 6 years old at the time, and I was bored as hell. So I decided to walk around the house, just talk to my parents and go, hey, have you ever heard of this thing called murder? And they go, yeah, it's not a good thing. And I didn't listen. I grabbed the knife, I stabbed my mom in the neck, and I go, this is fun. Mom, can you hear me? Mom, this is so much fun. And then my brother and sister came over. They were mortified. I don't know why. No one would be. It's just death. It happens sometimes. And then, I was so thirsty for more blood, I stabbed them. And then my dad came in, and he grabbed the belt, but I stabbed him first. And they were all dead laying there. So I decided to talk to them. They were my family, but lifeless, dead. So 20 years later, I've killed about 20 times more people than just that one night. I don't remember their bodies. They didn't care to me at all. But it was a normal Tuesday where I was sitting on my bed at 16 o'clock. And I decided to, go on my phone. This is now 2019. And out of nowhere, just this court judge just appears. Just out of nowhere, just appears in my bedroom. And he drags me in the corner. And I go, no, I didn't do the murders. I just helped, all right? Blame my alter ego. Murderer number 2, I don't know what his name is, I forget. But I just told him, no. But he didn't listen. And then I got sent to death row. And I don't know why. I didn't do anything wrong. I just helped those people go to heaven and hell. That's all I did. But, I got sent to death row. But I managed to escape because I just killed all the prisoners. And they didn't care. They were lifeless to them as well. So now I'm out of prison. But the court judge is, oh God, he's right there. So I just had to confess to the murders really quickly. Oh, God, he's coming closer. I gotta go, guys. Have a great day.
Nice. Okay, natural. Okay. I like it. Good job. Let's go. All right, that's everybody, right?
No, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. My bad. Michelle. Don't be scared. All right, remember, we gotta have a beginning, we gotta end it, okay?
Just like a regular podcast beginning.
Yeah, but talk about the story. I was saying, the viewer have to know who they're talking to, what they're watching.
Do I just start? My name is Michelle, and welcome back to my podcast. Today, I'll be telling you about how I was abandoned in the woods. When I was 13, I needed to go to Ontario, Canada, to visit my Aunt Susan. While planning my trip, I realized I was desperately poor and had no funds to get there. I packed what little belongings I had, a lighter, a sandwich, and my cherished pocket knife. And I stood out on the road because I had no money and the only way I could get there was by hitchhiking. I waited all day in the scorching heat, but no cars would stop for me. Finally, when night fell, a white windowless van pulled up and a middle-aged man wearing a black trench coat stepped out. He said, "Need a ride?" I said, "Of course." I was so happy that I had lucked out and some nice man was going to take me all the way to Canada. As he pulled me into his car, I realized something was wrong as he held a baseball bat up to my head. Within seconds, he had knocked me in the head and I was about to pass out. How could this possibly have happened? I thought as my vision faded to black. As I woke up, I realized I was in the middle of the forest. I was starving, cold, and it had already been several days since my abduction. For the next few weeks, I had to use my cherished pocket knife to live off of shrubbery, berries, tree bark, grass, little animals, floor mushrooms, whatever I could find. I DIY'd a little tent out of branches that I found, and I drank water from the creek. How lucky, I thought, that I was jumped in such a convenient area of the woods. I thought that maybe I could live like this forever and become a forest person, but after several weeks, the mushrooms began to go to my head, and I realized that I could not live like this anymore. I knew what I needed to do as I sat in the creek, doused my whole body with water, and got out my trusty lighter. I quickly lit a little bush on fire, which caught to the trees. Within several minutes, the entire forest was on fire. After about half an hour, a bunch of firemen came into the forest to put out the fire. When they found me, they took me to the fire truck and asked where I live. I, of course, said, Ontario, Canada, and they drove me all the way there. And that's how I finessed a free ride all the way to Canada. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I enjoyed experiencing it. Please come again another time. Bye.
Perfect. Good job. Into the beginning. I like it. Good job. Don't be scared. It's natural. Let's go. All right.